Well, greetings, Business 10 students. This is Mr.D. This is week number 13 in our 14-week course in Introduction to Business here at Chaffey College. That means we only have one more week after this week. In fact, we don't even have a full week. I think the class ends in the middle of the week. So you have about a week and a half left. And I just want to say, if for some reason you have fallen behind, now is the time to get caught up. And you could still pass the class. I know a few of you are below 60%, which means that you need to be above 60% to pass the class with a D, and even better, 70% to get a C. And I would just highly recommend that you go back and pick up any high point assignments that you may have missed. And if you can get those in before the end of next week, then you should be able to pull at least a passing grade out of the course. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And here I am on our course homepage. I'm going to scroll down. We are in module number 4. We have just a couple more weeks in this module and we are done, as I mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and look here. We're going to be looking at chapter 15 this week, Understanding Money and Financial Institutions. So this is where we're going to be getting into the Federal Reserve and institutional banking, basically how the financial institutions work, and how money, the whole money policy works. So we're going to be looking at monetary and fiscal policy, which is very interesting. How does the banks and how does the government control the economy through taxation, through loans, through low interest rates, things like that. So it's really a pretty fascinating study to look at. So this week, you're going to be reading chapter 15. You're going to have a PowerPoint on chapter 15. You have a quiz on chapter 15, and then you have homework number 12 on monetary policy versus fiscal policy. And your textbook lays this out really nice. I think I've also given you a couple of videos for you to be able to do there. So yeah, there's one video on the topic of fiscal versus monetary policy. So I'm asking you a couple of questions in this homework assignment to see what you know, or really I'm asking you to look up and find the answers to these questions so you can understand those two policies, because it really is pretty critical when it comes to understanding how our financial and economic system works, especially from a business standpoint. So that's going to be what you're working on. And then there's a check-in for chapter 13 that I do need to add some questions to for chapter 15. So it's check-in number 13, but there are questions on chapter 15. So I will make sure that I have those completed for you. And that way you can answer those questions based on chapter 15. And they're going to be things that are very important to the homework assignment as well as to the quiz. So those will be there when you check it out today. And let's see, I'm going to go back to modules. I'm going to come down. So we only have one more week to go. So I'm going to scroll ahead just a little bit here. Week number 14, we're going to be looking at chapter 16. And we have a final check-in assignment, which is just personal questions, and then you have another homework assignment, and then you have your final exam. So that'll all be next week. But again, this week you're looking at monetary versus fiscal policy, and you have a check-in assignment and a quiz. And then I think there's a discussion post that needs to come down. Yeah, you're going to be also answering the questions on the impact of printing too much money. What happens when you print too much money? What happens to the economy? What happens to prices? Things like that. So this is a very important discussion post for you to look into. Remember, it's worth 50 points. So it is a high point assignment. That's half the amount of points as for a exam. So don't neglect this. Make sure that you get it done. And I'm going to go ahead and put down November 12th as far as the due date here. And this might not be relevant if you're watching this in a different semester, but I am going to put continue, sorry. You have another week to do that as well after this week. So that's pretty much it for week number 13. Again, one more week. It's not even a full week next week that you need to get the rest of your work done. So if you've missed anything or you're behind, my recommendation always is that you work on the current assignments first and then go back and pick up any of the high point assignments that you may have missed. So that's it for week number 13. Have a great week, everybody. If you need anything, please let me know. Reach out to me via email. You can text me. Both of those are found under my link on the homepage that says help. And so you can get a hold of me there, and you'll see me all again one more time on video next